Hi there everyone, and welcome back to my channel Machining with Joe, a channel where I'm normally over on the lathe or on the mill. But today is going to be a bit of a different video because we're fixing my hot tub pump. So I know what you're all thinking, not really a machining video, but this pump packed up this week and I thought it would be a good example to try taking that apart and see if I can find out what's wrong with it. So I thought I'd just share that with you guys in case anyone else has got this problem with their pumps. So as you can see here, when the pump's been running for a minute or so, it comes up with this fault, E02. So doing a bit of research on that, and E02 actually seems like it's a low flow fault. So that either means there's going to be a blockage in the pump, the sensor's faulty, or the pump's packed up itself, the actual impellers maybe. So today I'm going to take that pump apart, walk you through that step by step, and hopefully by the end of the video we've found out what's wrong with it and hopefully I can rectify it. So stay tuned if you like a bit of fault finding or you've got one of these pumps that's faulty also. So as I don't actually know what's wrong with this pump, I'm just going to start by taking it apart step by step until we get to a point where we know for definite this is the fault. So to begin with, I'm going to undo these 6 Phillips screws on top of the pump housing here. Not too sure what we're going to find under here, but we'll take these out and see if that shows us anything. So one thing to mention is when this E02 fault has been occurring, it's been occurring for the last couple of weeks, slowly getting more and more consistent. And to begin with, I tried the basic things like flushing the system through and changing the filter. And towards the end, when this became a permanent fault, I have to say the pump was really noisy, so I'm expecting to find something probably broken there and definitely something failed. With these 6 screws removed, it literally just lifts up the access panel, and down here we've got a quick release plug so we can unplug this. So with that removed, you can leave that to one side because I highly doubt that's going to be faulty. The next thing we can do is undo the 6 screws lower down, which gives us access to inside the egg, as people call this online. So just make a note of the screws as well, because although the screws are the same length, they have different heads on. So the ones with the slightly larger heads are the ones that hold the control panel on, and the ones with the slightly smaller heads are the ones that hold the top half of the egg on. So just put them to one side and keep them all together. With all those screws removed, this lid should lift up. Yeah, so the top of the egg is now removed and we've got access inside the pump here. From doing a bit of brief research online and using a little bit of common sense, what I've worked out is the bottom port down here is the inlet, because that's where the filter screws onto, and the top port here is the outlet. So I'm going to imagine the pump is probably going to be somewhere on this bottom system, just because it's going to have to be drawing the water in. To get access to the bottom via this top panel, I'm going to have to take pretty much everything off, but I've flipped it upside down and I've had a look and it looks like you can remove the bottom access panel as well. So I think I'm going to go for that approach first, just because I can't really see the water pump at the minute, and if it's under there it doesn't really make sense to take all this apart. With it flipped over, there's just 4 screws that hold this bottom access panel on. They're a lot smaller, so the original screwdriver that you've been using may not fit. If it's got quite a fine end to it, it probably will, but if not, you'll need to get a slightly smaller Phillips screwdriver. Well, with those 4 screws removed, we can lift the bottom panel up, and there's just like a little earth cable attached to the bottom here. So get a small spanner or a socket and just undo that earth just so you can sling this out the way. Once you've got this bottom panel removed, you can now gain access to the water pump, which is right here. So this is what I'm suspecting to be faulty in mine. So the next thing we need to do is remove it. To do so looks fairly simple. It's held down by 2 Phillips screws. You've got to remove this Jubilee clip, and then there's a power cable which goes to the water pump to actually power it. Once you've undone all those 3, this should just lift out. So I'm going to get on with that now and we'll see if it's as simple as I've just made out. So I'm going to start by undoing the Jubilee clip which holds the hose on. So to remove this hose, if you literally just twist it and pull it away from you, it should fairly easy slide over. And I can see inside there, just found the remains of an O-ring. So I imagine that O-ring has come from inside here. Luckily I've already bought a kit with replacement O-rings because I had a slight water leak. So at least I've found where that O-ring has ended up. But the only issue is, if this has been sucked in, what damage has it caused to our pump? The next thing to do is I'm going to disconnect the power cable. So the power cable is this black cable here. And if you literally unscrew it from here, it should just pull out. So next we've got to undo these two Phillips screws. Smaller screwdriver. So try not to lose these screws because it's going to be quite easy to drop these. And with those two screws removed, if you just slightly lift this up towards you, it's on like a push fit connector, so it should, with a little bit of persuasion, come up. Right, I think now we've got the water pump apart, let's take it over to the bench and start stripping it down and see if we can find out the reason this has failed. To start off with then, we need to get this water pump open, and to do so there's 6 Phillips screws that go all the way around the housing. So we're going to undo them and then this pump should split open. I imagine inside here is going to be some sort of O-ring along with a propeller or shaft mechanism. So with these 6 screws removed, on mine the nuts on the back came off as well, we can now try splitting this apart. So to help it out, I've got a really small flat bladed screwdriver and I'm just going to try prising it between the 2 flanges to see if I can help it split. That seems to have got it. First of all, we've got the top part of the housing here, and all the O-rings look intact and the housing itself doesn't look too bad. I've got this weird black staining on it, which in a minute I'll explain to you exactly what I think that is. Next, moving down, we've got the impeller. So on the impeller there doesn't seem to be any damage to the magnetic body as such, and all the fins on the impeller are all intact. None of them are cracked or damaged, so I'd say that impeller is actually okay to use. And now the actual main body. So this seal, which I thought initially might have been leaking because of that black, is absolutely fine. And down in the body here, there's also no damage or score marks. So, what's causing this E02 fault? And where's this black substance come from? Well, if you look on the bottom here, the power cable has actually melted away from the body. And this black plastic here should all be fairly smooth. These bubbles here are where it's got extremely hot and started to melt. So I imagine the problem that we've got is this pump here is overheated and failed internally inside. So unfortunately I'm not going to be able to do a cheap fix with an impeller kit. I'm going to need a whole new pump because that melting and charring there shouldn't really be happening, and I imagine that's caused the pump just to malfunction. Just scrolling through eBay then, trying to find one of these, and it turns out these seem to be like they're really hard to get hold of actually. I can't seem to find it anywhere on lazyspa or BestWay's spa website, but I have managed to find one on eBay. It says here it's refurbished for £55. So £55 to keep this hot tub working is a price that I'm willing to pay to get this thing back up and running again. But I can most definitely say this is the cause of our fault. The melting in the wire and all the black stuff which is actually melted away from the plastic insulation is a good sign this thing is overheated and malfunctioned. But it does raise a question, why didn't the thermal cutout pick this up? So that's something else I'm going to have to explore, but for now I think I'm going to leave the video there. We've found out the cause of the E02 fault in my case, but not to say this is going to be the fault with your pump. Reading up online, a lot of the times this is what malfunctions, and if that does malfunction on yours, you can buy a kit looking online for about £20. Unfortunately in my case, it's actually been the actual pump itself that's failed, so I'm going to have to spend a little bit more money and buy a refurbished pump. Hope you've enjoyed this video today. It's been a lot different to what I normally do on the channel, as most of my videos are machine related, but I just thought I'd share this with you guys because I thought anyone with a lazyspa with an E02 fault, this may help them out. Thank you for watching this video. Please consider subscribing and I'll see you in the next one, guys.